is the ultimate travel guide from the people who know it best. Weekends with Yankee.
The Mount Washington region at peak foliage. It's absolutely breathtaking, and only about 3 hours from Boston. This is my favorite mountain in all of New England. It's also the highest peak in the northeastern United States, standing at more than 6,000 feet. To get to the top, you can drive, hike, or take the train, which I'm doing today. And what you find at the top is likely to be completely different from what you experience at the bottom. That's because the top of this mountain has some of the worst weather in the world and some of the highest winds ever observed by man.
Ow! Not bad, top of New England.
I've climbed this mountain more than a dozen times, and I have to confess, I am a weather nut. Today I'm connecting with photographer and climbing guide Joe Lentini, who's hiked this mountain hundreds of times and understands the risks up here more than anyone I know.
I love it up here. You know, look at this view today. It's pretty spectacular. And if you look way over there, the Atlantic Ocean.
So how many years have you been guiding here?
March made it 40 years I've been guiding. In the winter of 1969, I did my first trip into the mountains. I was pretty much hooked at that point.
Now this fog just seemed to have blown in out of nowhere. That must keep guys like you in demand.
Being a guide and also being on the Mountain Rescue Service, one way or the other, they either hire me or meet me later. Because if you don't follow the trail really carefully, you can wind up in places you absolutely don't want to be.
Mount Washington can be a scary place, and being lost on here is no joke.
Well, that's why the sign up there, 145 people have died up here.
Yeah.
You have to think about yourself. What do you have with you? If you all of a sudden lose visibility, how are you going to navigate? You need just simple equipment to be able to keep yourself reasonably safe.
Yeah, you can really be seduced on this mountain because you can get caught in the moment of being someplace so beautiful and so unusual.
So you have to think.
I wouldn't mind taking a hike down to Tuckerman's Ravine.
Let's go. We'll get some good views, maybe.
You know, I think one of the signatures of this particular mountain is rime ice.
Exactly. Water can remain in a liquid form in a cloud down to 40 below Fahrenheit. As it travels along, as it touches anything, it crystallizes, and then the crystals grow into the wind. On some days, these will be 18 inches long and cover everything up here. Then visibility can be really, really bad. I have the feeling we're not going to get to see Tuckerman's at all.
No, I know.
Clouds, you just see it dropping down into it. Look at them. Down they go. You know it's there, and look, it's clear everywhere else.
We're in a good spot right here.
We're on the lee side.
Lee side, there's no wind. But to experience Mount Washington, I think you need to be in the jaws of the wind.
Let's go do it.
All right.
As we turn the corner, we're going to step into the wind. Now we're feeling.
Amazing how Mount Washington is such a magnet for high winds.
Well, you know, it has to do with the shape and the height, and the winds are being forced over it and being pushed down from up above. It's being squeezed through. But now, there's like nothing between us and the wind. Feels good, doesn't it? A little cold. I have a friend in the observatory. Why don't we go in and see what the weather's really doing?
I would love that.
Let's go.
Oh, behind the velvet ropes of the observatory.
Because this is not open to the public. Here, I want you to meet Brian. Brian is an observer up here.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Hey, nice to meet you. My name is Brian Fitzgerald. I'm the Director of Education here at Mount Washington Observatory. This has been a manned station 365 days a year, 24 hours a day since 1932. And there are human beings here that are physically measuring, experiencing, and living with the weather conditions on Mount Washington. The most exciting part of working up here is the wind. You might get some other examples from thunderstorms to extreme cold to fog the whole year round, but definitely the wind. One of the windiest places on Earth and the windiest reporting station in the United States. How fast do you think the winds are going right now?
I think they're probably in the 60s.
Want to actually see what they're doing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, come on, let's take a look. We're actually measuring in inches of water here. We have to convert it to something we're a little more familiar with. So let's see, we're at 1.8 or so. That's about, hey, 60 miles an hour. Good for you.
Did it the old-fashioned way. I went.
All right, so I mean, if you're thinking about big winds, I mean, let's simplify it. The wind's coming from the west. First thing it's gonna hit is this nice north-south facing mountain range. It's gonna come right up and over the mountain range, and it's gonna get squeezed between the upper level of our atmosphere and the top of that mountain, and when that air gets squeezed, it's gonna accelerate. Just about an hour or two ago, we hit 72 miles an hour, so just about a Category 1 hurricane. 22 degrees outside, 60-mile-an-hour wind chill's about 0. So you definitely feel that if you have any exposed skin today. Do you guys want to go up to the top of the tower and see how bad it actually is?
Oh, absolutely.
Just go, come on.
This is neat. It's almost like being in a lighthouse.
And just like a lighthouse, we got some tiny, narrow little passageways, and watch your head right there.
Sounds like a jet engine out here. This is totally irrational that you'd want to go in hurricane force winds, but if you love weather or spend a lot of time, this is an honor. For me, this has been a great day.
You don't get a day better than this. You've seen everything.
I can fly! This is my Titanic moment.